Welcome to my guide for Genshin Impact. Timestamps are in the description below. This video is going to cover everything you need to know to min-max your waifus, and what better way to get started than how to unlock new ones. For promotional banners, you have an increased chance of getting the promoted 5-star. Since they are limited edition, you have slightly increased drop rates. The current promotional banner for characters is Venti. The way promotional banners work is that if a 5-star drops, you have an increased chance of getting the promoted character or item. This is because if you somehow manage to roll a different 5-star, you are literally guaranteed to get the promoted 5-star if you roll another 5-star. Using Venti as an example, if you somehow roll a different 5-star character, your next 5-star character is guaranteed to be Venti. 4-star characters and weapons will also have an increased drop rate. So let's say a Wish decides to give you a 4-star. It then decides which one to give you. The promoted characters or weapons are more likely to drop than a random 4-star. And then there's the pity system. Every 10 pulls, you're guaranteed one 4-star item or character, and every 90 pulls, you're guaranteed at least one 5-star item or character. Which banner you roll on depends on what you're trying to achieve. If you don't want any new characters and need better gear, roll on the weapon banner. If you don't like the characters being promoted by the limited edition banner, buy the standard banner. The meteors turn yellow if you get a legendary, and purple if you get an epic. Since the drop rates are so terrible, I don't recommend spending a ton of money on this game. You get plenty of primo gems just for playing. Also, only one of the meteors changes colors, so don't trip out. Now that you know how to unlock new characters, I'll explain how you get the resources for wishing. The easiest way to do this is to turn your primo gems into fates. There are numerous ways to acquire primo gems, but I want to quickly talk about the Blessing of the Welkin Moon. For $5, you get a daily primo gem bonus. You also get some Genesis crystals, which can be converted into primo gems at a 1-to-1 ratio. Genesis crystals are the premium currency of Genshin Impact. For players who want to get a bunch of characters but want to save some money, I think there's a lot of value in this deal. Farming primo gems is the only way to get free wishes, which means that the more primo gems you have, the more rare characters and items you're going to be able to unlock. This is because primo gems turn directly into the fates used for wishes. Intertwined fates can be used for the promotional banners, and acquaint fates can be used for the standard banners. The next important resource to cover is Star Glitter. This is the rarest premium resource. It's only obtained by getting 4-star duplicates or higher. It's also currently the only way to get a guaranteed character. You can purchase an unlimited amount of fates per month with this resource, but it's rare, so be careful. Stardust, on the other hand, is much more common. It's highly recommended you buy as many fates as you can per month with Stardust. This is because Stardust is acquired by rolling 3-star duplicates. You've probably noticed you're going to be getting a lot of weapons, so now I'm going to show you what to do with them. Weapons and artifacts can be enhanced and refined to make them much stronger than when you get them originally. The first thing I want to cover is refining because I think it's the most important. Most weapons have unique effects. Refining can make those unique effects much stronger. All you need to do to refine a weapon is combine an identical weapon. You pay a bit of mora and you end up with something much better than what you started with. Refining caps out at rank 5, and you should definitely put it into consideration when picking your main weapon. Don't stress out about enhancing and refining low-level gear, because when you put it into a new weapon, it carries over. Enhancing is when you use ore and weaker weapons in order to power up your current weapon. When you're enhancing your weapon, you'll notice that it has a maximum level. In order to increase that level, you'll need to ascend your weapon, which requires rare materials. Once you have a weapon that you want to enhance, use the weaker weapons you don't need to power it up. You can also use enhancement ore if you don't want to waste a weapon. Enhancement ore can either be found randomly throughout the world or crafted through blacksmithing. Weapons have different rarities. In this example, we're comparing a weapon that's 3 stars but fully refined and max level, versus a weapon that's 4 stars but only 2 refined, that is also max level. You can clearly see that the stats and secondary effects on the 4-star are much better and higher. You're going to have limited resources for upgrades, so I recommend focusing on gear that is higher in rarity. As stated previously, the Ascension materials are harder to come across. The way that you get Ascension materials is either by farming a domain on a certain day, or by going to a vendor to exchange them. They can also be crafted through alchemy, but not until you hit a high adventure rank. The easiest way to get these is going to be to attain them from the vendors. They do drop randomly from bosses around the world, but you can't guarantee that, so if there's something you need, this is where you go to get it. There are two different vendors for weapon ascension materials, one in Mondstadt and the other in Liyue Harbor. There's a maximum to how many of these materials you can purchase per week, so make sure you check them for the materials that you need. If you have a weapon that's capped out on refinement and also can't be leveled more due to your adventure rank, that's the best you can do. I wish you the best of luck in finding your legendary 5-star equipment. Just unlocking a character isn't enough. There are going to be tons of ways you want to power up your main. Something that took me a while to figure out is talent points. Each character has unique talents that can boost their kit. By acquiring the rare materials required, you can level up your talents in order to make them much more powerful. Materials can be found from mobs throughout the world or from certain domains on special days. Some may also be crafted or purchased from vendors. If you don't know where to find yours, simply click on the item and the game will let you know where to get it. The next thing I want to cover is Constellations. You might have noticed that you're going to be rolling multiple characters at times, and this is the benefit of doing so. When you get a duplicate of a character, it allows you to level up that character's constellation. I've rolled 3 Fischls, so I have 2 of her constellations. Each constellation is unique and boosts a particular part of that character's kit. There are 6 total, so after you roll a character 7 times, they're maxed out. Constellations can be a useful way to decide which character to main. If you have a ton of rolls on a single character, you might want to put more resources into them. Currently, the only way to level them up is through wishes, so good luck! Now that we've gone over what to do with everything you get from the rolls, I want to go into how to get more stamina for your characters. You can offer a special resource to the Statue of the Seven in order to increase your stamina permanently. Anemoculous can be found in Mondstadt and offered to the Anemo statues, while Geo Crystals can be found in Liyue and offered to the Geo statues. You can find them on your minimap using the star icon. Finding them can be a bit difficult, so you're probably going to have to look around. Many Geo Crystals, Anemoculous, and 4-star chests have set spawn locations, so if you'd like, you can look up an interactive map to find all of them. Once you do, you're done, so you might not want to rush through this if you're enjoying the game. You can also use elemental resonances to get some dope bonus effects for your party. All you need to do to activate them is to have at least 2 characters of the same element. You definitely gotta check out the Anemo bonus, which gives you decreased stamina consumption and increased movement speed. These stack with the stamina consumption decreases that are available in Kaya and Razor's passive. There's also a stamina buff you can get from food. Combining all of these together is amazing for exploration. You don't want to be the dumb bitch that drowns.
Get out the water, you gon' die! We not finna help your ass. You shouldn't have got in. Ain't nobody finna help you, you dumb shouldn't have got in there. He is done. Bro, what,
Another useful tip for exploring is that you can use your falling attack to take less damage if you're running out of stamina when climbing. Last but not least, we're going to cover original resin. This is probably the most important resource. You can check how much you have in the top right corner, and you want to make sure it's always recharging. I'm currently capped, which is bad. You generate 1 resin every 7 to 8 minutes, and you can use them for things like world bosses, which respawn once a week, or for ley lines if you're under adventure rank 15. As we covered previously, weapons need rare materials in order to ascend. You can check which materials spawn on which days and at which domains by clicking on the question mark. Once you hit adventure rank 20, you also might want to consider putting bosses into your rotation. Bosses can either be found on the minimap or in your adventurer handbook. Since every player receives the rewards, domains and bosses are great content to play with your friends. Your adventurer handbook can tell you everything you need to know about how to level. Make sure you're completing your chapters for free primo gems, and use the bosses tab to navigate to bosses that have loot you need. You can also check which bosses are respawning and what domains are up in this book. Make sure you're checking this out constantly to see if there are extra rewards you can be getting. The last tip I'm going to give you guys is to constantly be checking your mail. You can often find free Primo Gems, talent books, and items in your mail, so make sure you're checking it frequently. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I stream on Twitch almost every day, and I also model on Instagram, and I'm working on a Twitter account. I've got a Discord community that's super active, and you can get the link to that in the description below. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video, and if you guys have any ideas for future content, let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys soon.